This time I got a twofer. Not prepared for this, to be honest. I got we got ZBreezy back.
Yeah.
We got JSun over here, DJ JSun. Funny actually story. When you told me your name back whenever I first met you, you were like, "Oh yeah, my name's Jason," and in my head I was like, "Man, DJ Sun."
Wow.
Yeah, no, like I felt like the biggest like moron. It's like I didn't catch that at all. But yeah. So
that was like the hardest thing I had to do when I started DJing, is like figure out what my name was gonna be.
pick the name out.
And someone just said, "Why don't you just go with JSun?" I'm like, "Oh, okay,
JSun.
JSun, that works."
It works. I mean, it works out.
Yeah.
See, I was smooth as breeze, so
Right.
like, just go with the breezy. Yeah, it cools things down.
Right.
Yeah.
And it seems like One Loudoun DJs all have weather-related names, anyways, because we had Snow. DJ
Yeah.
Snow was at
Yeah.
Sense, JSun, ZBreezy. So if you don't have a weather-related name, don't
You
even
can't
try
be
to.
in there.
Don't even try to DJ.
They're gonna look at you when you come in. What's your DJ name?
Right.
It's DJ. Like,
Not weather related?
it's not weather related.
Where are you
You
leaving?
don't even
DJ Windstorm.
the best DJ in DC. No. We don't want you to get out.
Right.
So actually, I do want to ask because I kind of had a whole episode on ZBreezy, so I'm gonna kind of like exclude you for like
Hey,
just
that's-
5 minutes if you don't mind.
Please.
Please exclude me.
Can I get a Diet Coke?
But I want to ask you, how did you get started DJing?
So I was a drummer my whole life, like
Okay.
ever since like age 9. My dad's a drummer. We had drums at the house, drum set, snare drum, everything. Marching band, and so I've always been around music. I played in bands in high school and in college, and then I kind of started listening to other types of music, and started like hearing this electronic type music. Now growing up in Maryland near Baltimore, drum and bass scene was huge, jungle was huge, warehouse parties were huge.
Jungle.
Yeah, it's like a form of drum and bass.
Okay.
And I never got super into that, but I enjoyed that. And I just one day kind of decided to take a class at the Beat Refinery. It was like an intro to DJing. They just teach you some basics.
Okay.
And I was pretty hooked after that. It was kind of funny because my wife was actually on a girls trip, and I called her. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take a DJ class," and she was down there with all her girlfriends in Florida, and was like, "Oh, now he wants to be a DJ." Okay, because I already like was brewing beer. I was like, I do a lot of cooking and stuff, so now he wants to be a DJ, and now it's been 6 years, and they're like, "Your husband's like actually a DJ, like he really does a lot of DJ type stuff." So it just became addictive. Like it was just so much fun.
I can imagine. I mean, when I see you guys like back there sometimes, I see just DJs in general just back there like jamming out,
Yeah.
putting on the tracks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
When you get in the zone, you feel out the crowd, it's just like easy time, go time from there. It's just like your mind just thinks like the crowd that you're playing for. So like you're already thinking like what they're thinking, what they want to hear next, because you're in the moment. You feel the vibe, you feel the energy. That's the best place to be as a DJ. Like hearing like feeling out the vibe, and if the crowd's responding, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
I do want to ask too. You mentioned you cook. ZBreezy apparently last time we had our interview.
I throw it down.
You mentioned he cooks. I think I saw an Instagram post you guys had. Were you guys grilling or something, or what was that going on?
Our underground project that is not come above ground yet is Beats and Barbecue.
That's a good idea.
So,
Beats and barbecue.
I mean, we can trade on and off on the grill. We can trade on and off on the decks. Just do Beats and Barbecue. I think it would be a hit.
Is this gonna be like a collab or like a competition type?
I think we do.
You know what would be a cool idea? Having a truck that's like opens up to like DJ booth speakers and stuff. At the same time, you got grill in the back.
Yes.
So like either
So
I'm
this is
grilling,
right there.
you're mixing, I'm grilling, or vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
I like it.
Just give us an
See,
idea.
but like the bad thing is like you just told that on the camera, so we gotta like.
Right.
now we have to
It's
delete that.
copyrighted.
Summer 2020.
Summer 2020.
Coming at you.
Send to the mouth, send to the video.
Yeah.
Come back. Like what's going on?
Summer 2020 coming at you.
Yep.
All right, so you guys had this kind of DJ ZBreezy, DJ JSun collab.
Yep.
you guys are the first two DJs I've ever seen to link up kind of like that. And when I first saw it on, I think like Facebook and Instagram, I was like, how does that work with two DJs kind of DJing at the same time? Like, would it be one DJ doing his thing and the other one jumps in, or is it gonna be two? I honestly.
It's as bad as a car collision as you would think.
So usually, I'll start off. Usually, the way it works, like if you have a duo or collab, the way it works is like one of the DJs will play a set of like let's just say 5-10 songs, 2 songs, whatever the amount, right? And then the second person will hop on, and the other person will be there on the mic, dancing around, whatever. But for us, the way we do it differently is that he plays one song, and then right after that, I play another song. So you're both like kind of like going back to back with each other.
Okay.
And it like I feel like it helps me like come with the better come with song faster. I feel like his vibe. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna be here. I'm gonna one up you.
Right.
I want to play something better that's gonna crowd respond to, and then he feels like that as well.
Right.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a competition at the same time. We're doing it together.
Yep.
To make the people happy.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
completely different than what I've seen other people doing.
Yeah.
Other people do.
Yeah, that's an interesting
Yep.
concept.
We really gotta like constantly be thinking about what we're gonna do next, because you have, after you drop your song, you have 30 seconds to a minute till he's gonna put his song on, and then another 30 seconds to a minute till I gotta go back, and it can't stop.
Huh.
It cannot stop.
You can't play a crap song, because then
Right.
the other person wins. So
Right.
you gotta do one better than that.
It's like the best type of competition. Everybody wins in the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you guys actively kind of made that into a competition? Like going in and kind of going like ZBreezy versus JSun,
I mean,
and then like people know whose song is who?
See, I think the competition DJing is more of it is like scratch battles.
Okay.
And Z scratches a bit. I don't do much scratching at all. So I think that any kind of competition like that would be more of a scratch battle. I think what we're always looking to do is just elevate whatever venue that we're in. If you see what we do at Bar Louie and how people get so amped up in suburbia, okay? I mean, people think this is like, it acts like it's DC, but we're in suburbia. We don't
Right.
have to drive 40 minutes.
Right.
And I think part of that's because we can vibe off each other
Right.
all the time. And the competition aspect is, like, when he drops something, I was like, oh man, it hits you. And it's like, yes, that was such a good drop. And then you want to do a better drop, or
Right.
something to at least be on the same level
Yeah.
to keep everybody at that
Keep the
amped up
tempo,
level.
keep the flow.
Okay.
For us, we it's not so much. I mean, I use that word competition, but it's more of like like feeling each other's vibe and one up the vibe.
Yeah.
That's about it. It's not like it's not like a competition that most people would think it as. Like let's just say as a scratch DJ, it's like one DJ will play for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, scratch whatever, and then you'll have a judge. Then someone else goes, and that'll be a competition in a sense. But for us, it's more of like just have fun, man. Just be behind the deck, just like play music, have fun.
Okay. And you guys are DJing for, was it Loudoun? I don't know my sports teams.
Oh, Loudoun United Football Club. Yeah.
Loudoun United. Okay, so how'd you get to start doing that, and what is that like? Because that seems like seems honestly interesting, seems cool,
Yeah.
but it seems like it'd be a hard, I guess, almost sell to kind of position yourself as the kind of DJs that they would.
It's so the way that worked out was, him and I, we were playing one night at Bar Louie, and some random dude like came up and gave me a card. It's like, oh great, another card. I looked at it in the morning. It's like, oh, it says like this of Loudoun United. I was like, okay, I'll give him a call.
Mm-hmm.
So I called him, no answer. But going fast forward, like it was like about a month or so. I had one of my other friends like, hey, I partner up with Loudoun United. They're looking for a DJ because they just fired their last DJ. He sucked. Like that. This is a legit conversation that we're having at this point. It's like, oh yeah, I'll hit them up. Like, is this the same person that I have a card for? And I sent him a picture. It's like, yeah, that's the same person. You can text them. So I texted him and I told JSun right after. I was like, hey, so this is what's going on. It's a legit stadium. Like, it's an actual stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Loudoun County's first professional sports team. It's in Leesburg. They built the stadium. We got there, and the stadium just opened like a week prior to when we got there.
Okay.
So they had like it's super fresh. They have no sound. So him and I, we walk around. We brainstorm like what they're gonna need. Like we give the codes to the like we talk to the people that's in charge. This is what's gonna need, and it's gonna be a learning experience for us. And then like a couple of days later, we had to go in and play.
Okay.
It was that fast.
Yeah,
we had 2 days to prepare.
Meeting was Wednesday, first game was Saturday.
Yep, we had 2-3 days to prepare, and I don't know. I feel like we killed it. And they were like, all right, here's the next 10 games. You guys want to do it?
Right. And we've done 3 now, and the first one, I mean, I think we exceeded expectations for having 2 days prep. We had to go purchase a bunch of equipment. That Friday we were immediately off to Guitar Center getting a bunch of stuff. And then we had a game that Saturday, and then we had about 11 days off to kind of rethink our setup, and we changed our setup. We did even better the second day. Came back with like 2 lessons learned from the team or whatever, and then the third game. I mean, those guys were just blown away by how smooth everything went, because it's a totally different thing than a Bar Louie or a B1 or any of those, where we don't really actually DJ that much. We play music that's family friendly in a fun environment, keep it up tempo, but we're also providing like audio that you can hear in a 5,000 person stadium.
Yep.
And a PA system for the announcer, and it's everything's on this nice tight schedule, right down to the
seconds.
every second.
So it'd be super, like everything has to be on point,
Yep.
on to the seconds, like literally, like we have to be on point.
Just schedule, because it's also being at least recorded and sometimes broadcast on ESPN 3, I think.
Wow. Okay.
The game is broadcasted to ESPN.
Yeah.
So is it kind of the same kind of crowd reaction type thing, or is everything more pre?
It's not. No, not so much. So if you're comparing like your regular bar club scene, it's not that. It's more of like let's just say 30 minutes before the game actually starts, we're just playing like some, amped up music for people to kind of go into the stadium, sit down or walk around, get food, get drinks, whatever. And then when the game actually, is on, we don't do anything. We don't play anything. We just have the microphone ready for the announcer to announce the scores, to announce if there's substitution and stuff like that. And then the other time we would play would be like about 10-15 minutes during halftime, which is like 5-6 songs, and then we'll play another 10-15 minutes after the game. So as far as like the crowd engagement, it's not like people are dancing or anything like that. It's just like short, quick, drop, beat drop. People are hyped up, shut it down.
Okay.
It's a little different than your regular club and bar scene.
Yeah.
Okay. And so do they kind of give you an idea of what to play, or do you guys kind of get a feel?
So the team submitted a few songs for a warm up that they would like to hear.
Okay.
Other than that, it's pretty much just kind of what we know. It has to be family friendly. Even the clean versions of current day songs don't always work out in a family setting. So that is a bit of a challenge for us because we're used to adult environments.
Right.
But so we do have to adjust for that. But it also it has to be kind of up tempo because these people are paying money to come see this game. It's exciting. The team won its first home game this past Saturday. 4 goals were scored. Which is a lot for soccer. And we got to keep everybody amped up, keep everybody happy, and keep going.
Absolutely.
So how does it feel kind of being a part of? Like this is.
It feels amazing.
Yeah,
it feels amazing. It feels like for them to call us the official DJs of this brand new team or brand new stadium that they have. It feels amazing, and as I said, the last DJ they had, they fired him, and our first game was supposed to be our trial, and right after the first game, they were so happy with this. They were like, "Here's all the games, take it." You know what I mean? So it's very exciting. It's very I'm humble. You know what I mean? It's we put a lot of hard work into it. It's not like it's the same thing that we do at a club or bar. It's completely different environment, so we adjust to it really well.
And for us, I think it's a bit of a jump off point because we do everything in Loudoun right now. We do Leesburg. We do everything in Loudoun in general, and then we have one offs at private parties in Fairfax or DC or Maryland or whatever. But I think we get a lot of attention at one Loudoun, and people come up and drop off cards and like, I need you in New York DJing this party, but someone wanted me to go to Manhattan. I want you at my sorority. I want you this, and that, and they give you these cards, and then, you don't really ever hear back.
Yeah,
and this is something that kind of came up like that, where we're able to give a presentation as to what we can do.
Right.
We're given one opportunity to do it. They would have fired us if it didn't work out the first day.
That's
Right.
like the other guy.
They would have been like, this isn't gonna work.
Okay.
And it was nice to, collaborate and work together to achieve that, because I think we both have similar goals as to where we want to be.
Right.
And we don't necessarily need to just go to DC. Like it would be enjoyable, but we want to continue like bringing this nice party.
Big events. Yep.
Yeah, big events, and maybe even do DJing as a sole profession at some point.
Right.
That definitely seems like it'd be an ideal. So.
Oh yeah.
To just
Breezy on the
and-
right.
Right.
Who's Tiesto?
I mean, I personally have goals to DJ at Burning Man one day. Like
Hey.
that is a bucket list goal.
You know, Burning Man, anybody can go and play at Burning Man, right?
But I mean, I want to be part of a camp.
Oh.
You want to be official.
Official.
Okay, official Burning Man. Gotcha.
I gotta
It's
have
not like,
special
personal
goggles.
made.
No,
Oh,
it's official. Yeah.
Speaking of big
DJs,
how do you guys feel about Pauly D and stuff? He starts
what'd
laughing.
you say?
I mean, I honestly don't really know his DJ abilities at all. I don't know.
Have you seen Jersey Shore?
I've seen Jersey Shore, yes.
Have you seen him DJ Jersey Shore?
No.
He sucked. That's why you didn't see it. It's like, okay.
All right, see, we're making enemies.
It's
This is where it gets used
I'm
to.
gonna feel some type of way about this, but no, man, I feel like so Pauly D, look, he's successful, right? I can hate on that, but what's the reason he's successful? Is it because he's talented, or is it because he uses his like social media or like his like following really well? I feel like it's more of like the publicity that he had gotten from like Jersey Shore made him who he is. Like,
I mean, let's not forget, Shaq is now a
exactly,
is
a
a
DJ.
festival DJ.
Paris Hilton was a DJ.
Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq Diesel.
Is he really?
DJ Diesel.
He plays Echo Stage.
Yeah, he did play Echo Stage this summer.
Paris Hilton, like she
Residency.
doesn't-
Is she really too?
right.
Residency.
It's all about kind of like who you know, not so much of your skill.
And generally speaking, anybody that's a famous DJ, they're actually a highly skilled musician and producer.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's no different than like Z and I are essentially the equivalent of a cover band.
Mhm.
We might be a really good cover band and get a lot of local gigs and be popular and maybe even go up and down the East Coast a little bit. But a national act that's flying in jets all over the place and making tens of millions of dollars a year, those people are producers.
Right.
And their musical ability is that of a professional musician. It's
Okay.
just a different style. It's
Right.
it's through electronics.
Exactly. Start using actual instrument they use.
Different medium.
Software.
And even the best ones will integrate real instruments into their software program, and because a lot of them know piano scales and things like that, and they're professional musicians too.
Right.
Okay.
But
Makes
yeah,
sense.
speaking of Pauly D, it's
Not a fan.
You just call it
you guys should just go and listen to his set. Like that's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know.
I've actually never heard any mix, because in Jersey Shore there was always like
Yeah.
whatever music they chose
Yeah.
to pick.
That's it.
And even in like his own show,
Right.
I admit that I've watched.
Right.
I'm a reality star fan, but I've never heard it, so I don't know.
You could check him out. He'll be probably somewhere in Echo Stage. I don't know.
I think he played the place in Silver Spring,
Fillmore.
Fillmore.
Yeah.
I think he was over there.
It's because he can bring in crowd.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He can bring in like
Makes
this 18, 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
You feel some type of way, don't you?
No, I don't.
I want to kind of go back to you a little bit, because I do want the audience to learn more about you
Okay.
and kind of how you got into it. Sorry again, Z, we kind of
I'll chill.
we get pushed into the side a little bit, but you said you drummed. What was your, I guess, genre of music of choice?
At the 5th grade is when I first got glasses. No hate on glasses, but back then, glasses were just totally different than what you can get now.
Yeah.
And like all my cool points went way down going from elementary to middle school. And so now glasses are in. Like you can rock glasses. So I don't know. I just kind of like played these drums and tried to be like cool with it. So by the time I was able to like get semi-cool and get contacts, I grew my hair long and I was like this big hippie kid, right? It was like constant Birkenstocks, tie-dyes, and hemp necklaces, a lot of hacky sack at lunchtime, and I went to
like thick eyeliner.
No, none of that. That's not hippie. That's goth.
That's like goth, yeah. It's combining the two.
A lot of patchouli. I don't know if you know that scent.
No.
Patchouli, it's a scent.
Oh,
like patchouli, sandalwood, stuff like that.
yeah.
Grateful Dead concerts, Fish concerts, all that stuff. And so from probably late middle school, early high school on, it was all like jam bands, because all of us were also in jazz band.
Okay.
So we were in jazz band, we were in concert band. Like I was first chair drummer, but I also played sports a lot. So I had to like kind of not do the school band anymore and just kind of do the garage bands. And we just kind of always mimicked our style off of these jam bands, where it's very free form, which I think is why we do well, because a jam band, it doesn't say like, okay, well you're gonna do 16 bars and then you're gonna do the next chorus or the next verse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's however many members of the band you have, kind of all figure it out when it's gonna happen.
Right.
So
Just kind of open format type of
Open
thing.
format.
Everyone comes to the same.
An orchestrated jam that doesn't sound like a mess, right?
Okay.
So I think that was always my style. I was in a really good band in University of Maryland. We played some frat parties in the basement and we had the place packed. It was awesome.
Frat party.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you've been bringing in crowds for.
And again, that was mostly our friends, and this is what we do in One Loudoun. I mean, everywhere we go in One Loudoun, or even in downtown Leesburg, we will have 10 or so people at least come out to see us. Mm-hmm. At times, I think we brought in about almost 30 at one point on a bigger night.
Right.
And then now we're not necessarily bringing in all these people to Barley, but we know a third of the people in a 400 plus.
Right. Because now they continue to come to see us.
Right.
It's like we're bringing them. They're going.
To
chase
chase
us.
you almost.
That's why. That's like we could actually pack up our stuff in probably 20 minutes.
Yep.
But it's like conversation after conversation after conversation after our set. Just saying hi to our friends, thanking them for coming out,
Right.
saying what's up, stuff like that, or the people saying, oh, you did really good.
Mm-hmm.
New people coming up and talking to us, it's social.
Just chit-chatting.
Yeah.
It's probably a good feeling though afterwards, knowing people.
We're also very like humble, right? Yeah. It's nothing like, oh, I'm better than you. None of that. It's more of like we're very open about everything. Hey, thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
We kind of like put you as make you our friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if somebody brand new comes up, hey man, you did such a great thing. It's like, all right, we'll talk to you. We'll just hang out with you, just like you as our friend.
Right.
There's nothing. We're very humble.
Right. Just don't spill any drinks on our equipment.
Then
we don't talk to
Then
you.
you're gonna get banned from all that.
Then we don't talk to you.
Right.
Have you guys ever had that experience where someone like knocked over your equipment or almost maybe spilled something?
All of it.
Really?
All of it. All of it. I've done weddings where someone mic dropped after they did their best man speech. I've done.
Someone mic dropped after.
Yeah, I mean,
He
there
thought it was gonna be cool. Right?
well, it was like a day wedding, but they've been drinking all day, and the guy gave a best man speech, stumbled through it, and just mic dropped, like wireless microphone.
Bro,
I was like,
this is
okay.
not a plastic mic. It's not your daughter's mic. What you doing?
Lots of times, people will come next to our. We have like a cage table kind of thing, and people come next to us and. I don't know, they serve heavy drinks apparently because after someone's been drinking, the drink slips right out of their hand.
Yeah.
And you have, next thing you know, there's glass all next to you with Corona or whatever they're drinking.
Yep.
He's had worse.
I have an experience where someone actually spilled drink on my table, where it kind of, messed up my controller completely to the point that I had to go get a new one next day. Because it happened on a Friday night and I had a gig on a Saturday, so when they dropped the drink, it's like my controller stopped working. Like I lost most of the control on my controller. Like I couldn't really mix anything. I couldn't scratch. I couldn't fade out anything. So knowing me, and this happened at like 11 o'clock, I still didn't want to disappoint people. So what I did was, I went ahead and still played song, just like a jukebox. Like there was no mixing because I couldn't mix anything because it disabled most of the function of the controller. But I still played music until the closing time, song on top of songs, just like just like a radio. But yeah, it did happen. It did happen.
But I think that's how that's just how we do things. Like we're gonna be as professional as we possibly can
Right.
about every situation. A lot of DJs would have just packed it up and walked out.
Right.
Not hating on them. I mean, I think what helps us be the way they are is like we have your 9 to 5 job too. So our families don't eat off of our DJ money. It helps support our fun lifestyle. Well, we have toys. Don't get me wrong, but a situation like that, it's like he can't let the bar lose out on the revenue by just packing up and going.
Yeah.
We can figure out a way to get his equipment restored and money towards him to get that. But we try to always think first before we
we don't necessarily do it for the money. It's more so we look at the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say for that night, for instance, if I was to if I was to leave at 11 o'clock, the bar has no DJ, no music at that point, right? So yes, I may have lost my controller, but imagine how much more money the bar is losing because everyone else is gonna go somewhere there's music or there's entertainment, right? So we look at the bigger picture of like, okay, so this is messed up. We have a problem. Let's rectify it. Let's continue the night. Let's make sure everyone has a good time, and we can think about what happened tomorrow when we're not working.
And the cool thing is, like, I was DJing right down the street.
Yeah.
So my set ended, and I was like running over with a controller, replacement controller for.
Well, that makes it nice then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too. Besides that, you just pack up and leave. I feel like your reputation at that point,
Right.
No bar is gonna.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, this dude just got up and left and just
Right.
killed the whole vibe.
Now, if my controller was to not work at all, then I had no other options.
Yeah. That's
I can't like sing song, you know what I mean? Like, but I still had like so much control that I could actually play a song on top of each other, even though I wasn't able to mix or anything. That's why I continued the night.
And I imagine whoever spilled it, they weren't trying to. No.
It's never.
Did they at least acknowledge it that they?
So originally, yes, acknowledged it, and then started getting mad at me.
They got mad at you.
Yeah. So
For you.
because so my first instinct was like, dude, what the f? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you just dropped drink on my table. Like, this is messed up. That's how I work. That's how I DJ. Like that's my nightlife.
Yeah.
So I was absolutely mad in the beginning, and then I feel like he took it the wrong way, so he started getting mad, and then he tried to like come up to me like to fight me, and then one of my other friend, David, he's always there. He like picked the dude up, just like threw him outside, and he got arrested for disorderly conduct and all that. It was
Right. He's our off the payroll bodyguard.
yeah. David's our
Big guy, real big guy.
So I'm gonna ask a kind of a tip to any aspiring, or ask you guys for a tip for any aspiring DJs. What would you say would be, I guess, the biggest hurdle to overcome when it comes to beginning, like getting your name out there? Anyone.
That I once listened to was reading a Reddit from one of my a DJ that I really like. His name is Brills. He's not super well known, but he's actually done a lot of remixes for like Katy Perry, Madonna, and things like that.
Okay.
And he said, just do your best, constantly put your content out there, and we will find you. Right?
Okay.
So for me, that meant, since I don't produce yet, like that's an area I'd like to go to, but for me it was identifying another DJ that's succeeding, that's willing to be cool enough to let me hang with them.
Yep.
Because I don't ask them for money, right? I don't ask them for anything but just, can I watch you? Can I shadow you? Can I ask you a question?
That's it. Yeah.
And when you find that one DJ that's willing to allow you to do that, learn from that person, watch what they do, and then develop your own craft based around the base knowledge of what you're gonna get. And then the second thing is, no matter what, you gotta stay humble.
That's it.
Got to. Because the second you become big head and talking, people don't want to deal with you.
Right.
Yeah.
You have, even if you bring the biggest heat on earth, if you're kind of a jerk to work with, you're gonna put people off.
Mhm.
I totally agree with that. You know, it's all about kind of like, you know, learning from someone who's like, you know, learning from someone that you think is good enough,
Mhm.
right? Just shadowing them, putting your hard work in, you know, on a daily basis. Like I'm sure you do too. Like we get people like, hey, can I become a DJ? Like, okay, can you carry my backpack for like a month?
And they're like,
Oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, can I just come in, like, you know, watch you? Like, no, dude. You gotta put your hard work in
Mhm.
and show whoever's like, you know, you're shadowing, show them that you actually, like, you mean business and you wanna learn. At that point, that person's gonna actually be willing to teach you. If you're just there to be like, yo, teach me. Like, you know, I'm gonna come in, like, you know, teach me within like a couple of days. It's not gonna work like that. It's not gonna work like that.
And on the flip side, like if we turn you down, it's not necessarily because we're being big-headed or jerks or whatever. I've had a lot of people that I've answered a lot of questions for, gave tips, gave tricks, told them what music I play, even copy and pasted my set list and hand it off to them, and then they go around and undercut you after that.
Right.
You
And
mean,
like they'll go and bid a job that they know you're bidding on and just undercut you by $50 because
oh wow.
because that's what'll get the job.
Oh.
And so there's a few of us that we know not to do that, right?
Yeah.
Our team works because it's straight team. Like I share a gig with him, he shares it. I mean, he brought me into the Loudoun United FC. He brought me into that meeting as a teammate, right?
It's because you know you gotta trust people, right?
Yeah.
You know, if I thought that he was gonna go to Loudoun United and be like, hey, I'm gonna do this gig $100 cheaper, I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
I wouldn't have brought him in. So their DJs, it's one of the biggest pain point actually. I don't know if you agree with me, but it's one of the biggest pain point in DJs that, you know, there's always gonna be somebody who's gonna be bidding less than you are and get booked and undercut you.
Right.
But that's again going back to our point. That's
Even when you get a sub for one of your gigs, because we can't. Like, you know, I've got a kid. He's got a kid now.
right.
You know, there's times where we just cannot make our gig on a weekly basis because of a family event or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Fortunately, knock on wood, we don't really ever get sick, which is nice. We have not had any. We have not had any. No flus, no SARS.
I mean,
nothing.
even if it's like a little flu, be like, Jason, you better go.
Right.
I don't care if he's sneezing, if he's coughing.
You know,
just go.
there's DJs that want to get spots.
Yeah.
And there are people that will go in and say, man, that guy's no good, I'll take 50 less than what, I'll do it for $100 total.
$100 total.
Which is no money.
But they're so hungry they have nothing else.
Right.
They rather make the 100 or the nothing
That's
else.
just not, like, I mean, if, I just can't see myself ever doing
Right.
that. Like, I'd rather just not get the gig than undercut somebody.
That's what we mean by being humble. Like, don't, if a hand feeds you, don't bite that hand, right?
Right.
Because, you know, I have had DJs that I booked or sub that wanted to do that. And then, you know, the GM comes up to me the next time I'm there, it's like, hey, whoever you sent wants to, like, take your gig for $50, $100 less. You know, so now that I know what that person's about, I'm never gonna book them.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
Right.
Wow. That's pretty. I mean, cutthroat, to be honest. That, especially if you help somebody and they
I
end
mean,
up.
anytime you involve money, and
Yeah.
again, you take my, like, I love my bar Louis, you know, we split every other Friday.
Mhm.
I love that gig. You know, the money's really nice too, but, you know, if someone's gonna come in and undercut me, I mean, I'm not gonna lose dinner, I'm not gonna lose my house.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lose gas money, I'm not gonna lose anything over it, except for, like, a feeling that someone wasn't loyal to me and vice versa. You know?
Yeah. It's that betrayal.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's it.
And like, genuinely, I think I go into situations like I want to trust people. Like, I want to trust the sub. I want to trust other
Right.
DJs. And, you know, other DJs will talk up a lot until it comes to the action sometimes.
Mhm.
But trust me, there are a lot of DJs around here that are very trustworthy, and those DJs will rise, and we will all work together, because we don't want to step on each other. I don't want to lower his rate by $50 to then bring the rates down for everybody else too.
Yeah.
Because it's just not. Then we'll be doing stuff for free.
Right.
Yeah. It comes down to lose-lose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Game overall.